Hello and welcome to another Smurp video. And it's been a while since I've actually done one of these because I've been working on my Beast Wars Rebellion project. So it's a good day when an Amazon package arrives on your doorstep. So I'm going to open this bad boy up. And here we have Transformers, the IDW collection, volume 4 from phase 2. And this is Prowl, which is pretty cool. I love good artwork, especially like this. They seem to really be nailing it with these phase 2 books. You know, these sprinkles or whatever you want to call them, showing that his face is kind of shattering. So let's look at the side. That's really nice. I'm really glad that there's no dents. I got a book the other day and it had a dent here, which is really annoying. And there's the back, and there's, I believe that's Prowl. Correct me if I'm wrong. It looks like Prowl. It's a police car, and you know it's got bits flying off. And in the early days of the war on Cybertron, two leaders start down their path towards destiny. Meanwhile, on current day Cybertron, Megatron is back. Everything Bumblebee and his Autobots have built teeters on the edge of collapse, and Starscream has to make his choice his whole life has been leading to. On the Lost Light, a secret prisoner is confined to the bowels of the ship. So this collects the Monstrosity series, Robots in Disguise 12 to 18, and More Than Meets the Eyes 14 to 16. So in the last, in volume 3 of this series, phase 2, basically at the end, you see Megatron returning, which is quite cool. So I haven't read a lot of this. I think this is around the time where, is it the riots happened, or was that in the last book? But I'm going to show you some pages inside, sorry, so you can see what's going on. This is always the hard bit for me showing off books, is trying to give you like a full view without damaging the book, so to speak. So that's quite cool. The Autobot sign behind. We're going to call him Prowl. It could be Ratchet. I think it's Prowl. Maybe it's Streetwise. Hey ho, so let's move on. Gobbledygook about IDW. And these are the stories which I've just told you about on the back. And who writes them, who does the art, etc. Which is, I always find those things cool. I never take the time to look at it, but it is cool. What's cool is we start with Monstrosity. And I think in the last volume we had, oh my goodness, I can't even say it. But if you've read it, I hope you know what I mean. Oh goodness, I'm terrible. And look, we start with some Dinobots, which is cool. So about halfway through the book, and yeah, I say that's Prowl on the front. I'm sorry if I've kind of hashed over that a bit. And this is a cover for one of the other ones. It's Bumblebee. Yeah, it's Warpath. I don't think he's been in this series yet. And it comes with this bookmark section there, which is kind of cool. And yeah, this is the one that I was thinking of. So Megatron's back, and you know, he's making his kind of play. And clearly Bumblebee gets beaten up a bit. I'm not going to say that I entirely know what's going on, because quite frankly I've not read this before, so that's quite cool. I do like RC in this series. Obviously I grew up with the G1 series, so having her as this crazy female murderer who wasn't even meant to be female is quite cool. And here's a bit of the Lost Light. And I've got to say, I like the Lost Light adventures probably a little bit more than Meets the Eyes. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea what's going on in here. This is pretty cool. I like artwork like this. Dark, and it's good to have Shockwave back in this. So like I said before, I'm not going to pretend to know exactly what's going on in this. I'm reading Revolution at the moment, which is kind of cool. But then again, I don't know where the characters are at. And at this point, it's quite cool. There's Superion, which is pretty awesome. And there's the back cover. So like the front with Prowl, this one's got a Decepticon at it. On it, sorry. And it's Megs making his big move. I was going to try and tell you how many pages it has, and usually it's about 300, etc. I mean, the original Phase 1 series had the numbers on this. This doesn't seem to have numbers, which it's not a deal breaker, but you know, you can see the book is really nice. It's really sturdy. Oh, sorry, I thought it was going to fall down Nothing worse than dropping a book after getting it. And here it is with the other volumes, which is quite cool. And sorry about the special effects of dust. These have been away for quite a while because I finished reading them, but you can't see the size that they are. And these hardbacks are good to get, you know, if you don't want graphic novel after graphic novel. These are good, in my opinion, to wait, because I was so far behind. It made sense to do it this way as well. So there we have it with all the other volumes from phase 2. I'm not going to put phase 1 because this is kind of more about phase 2. So, you know, I think they look nice. And like as I was saying before with the art, I love what they're doing with you know, this, like they're being sucked into oblivion or something. So yeah, volume 4 for me is a plus if you're collecting the series like this. If you can't wait, then obviously you need to probably speak to some of the guys that are probably way far. I think this is volume 4 is what, from, correct me if I'm wrong, what, 2013 stories or 2012 stories? I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think too much about that because I'm not constantly up to date with this, so I don't really mind collecting it in this way. So yeah, so volume 4 is a must. I'm really happy with it. And you know, let me know what you think of it, if you're getting it, if you got the collection. Phase 1, I've got to say, is probably more harder to get now, but if you can get it, definitely worth it 100%. So thank you for watching. Take care.